Hey guys, Deluxe here, and today we are taking a look at Transformers Generations Fall of Cybertron Jazz. As you can see, Jazz is a really cool looking sports car. I really do dig this vehicle mode. It is probably the best part of the toy because the robot mode is sort of lackluster, but the vehicle mode is definitely fantastic. It's insanely accurate to the game. Jazz did have one of my favourite vehicle modes on the War of Cybertron game because I love the way it looks, really nice and streamlined and everything. Definitely do like the vehicle mode. Now, my major gripe about this figure is the fact that it is absolutely tiny. I mean, here he is next to a power core combiner. Yeah, I mean, he's absolutely tiny. So that really does sort of suck. I wish they would make him just a tad bit bigger. That would have made the figure a lot better because it would have had more space to put the legs in. And that's the major gripe I've got with the robot mode. Yeah, but, you know, I'm not going to complain too terribly much. It's a deluxe figure. In terms of paint apps, he's got great paint apps actually. He's got some awesome metallic blue along here. He has some blue plastic in the lights in there. Very nice looking Autobot symbol. The white is a very, very nice shade of white. It's not sort of yellowy white, it's definitely just, you know, a white. Don't really know how to describe it. He does have sort of like these red energon things on his wheels, which definitely look cool. They do sort of like the London Underground sign. Sorry, I'm muddling up my words. He does have more silver along here. On the back here we have great paint apps along these things. Definitely very cool. He does have a bit of a hole here, a bit like Optimus, and you can see his hands, but that's kind of unfortunate. But it's a gripe that I'm willing to overlook because the rest of the vehicle mode is absolutely perfect. Jazz's transformation is fairly involved. I do enjoy transforming this thing. Not so much back to vehicle mode, but we'll get to that later. Anyway, first we're going to do, I'm going to rotate out these arms, just unpeg them, like so. You can see that makes everything loose, and he has got sort of a weird little gimmick, sort of automorph thing, which I'm not a huge fan of. Basically what we're going to do is going to lift this back, and we can sort of push this up, angle it into place, and then, yeah, sort of push this up, like that, and try and just angle them into there, like that. It's really kind of fiddly. It makes the toy seem a little bit cheap because the clip doesn't, you know, get in there very well. Yeah, it's not the best transformation ever. Anyway, next we're going to do, I'm going to come up here, going to unhinge this piece from here. I'm just going to sort of pull it out, just sort of clip in, like so. Rotate that sort of to the side, rotate it around, flip out the hand, and there is an arm. So on the side, unhinge this, unpeg it, don't pull it off the ball joint. Yep, fail. Anyway, peg it back in there, rotate the arm around, and there we go. There are the arms. Now it is just a matter of folding out the feet. Now the feet and the knees are on a kind of a weird ratchet joint. I'm not a huge fan of it, to be completely honest. Anyway, I'm going to rotate out the feet. See, they are on a bit of a ratchet joint, but what's really, really annoying is that the legs look pretty stupid like that, just like straight. So I do like to have them bent a little bit, but it also means that, you know, he ends up standing sort of back like that because you can't rotate these feet forward any further, and that really, really does suck. It's one of the major gripes about this robot mode. The legs really aren't that good. But after all that, there is Jazz in robot mode. And to be honest, the robot mode is okay. It's not awful, but it's just the legs that really let him down. Also, the plastic just doesn't feel right. You know, during transformation it feels a little bit cheap, especially this mechanism back here. And that does really suck, but the figure isn't bad nonetheless. He does have a gun, he can actually use it in vehicle mode. Forgot to show that off, but basically, yeah, I think the tab's inside there. But you can hold it, and it does store in vehicle mode fairly nicely. Well, not store, it actually, you know, sits on top of the vehicle mode. But he does hold the gun, which is, it looks fairly accurate to the one that he had in the trailer. I'm not sure, I wasn't really paying attention. Now, I will admit, he does have a really cool looking head sculpt, definitely very G1. Really, really cool, I do like it. It's just a shame he doesn't have light piping. If he had sort of blue light piping, that would make it absolutely fantastic. But it is great nonetheless. Just for a quick size comparison, here he is next to the Fall of Cybertron Optimus Prime, just so you can see how these guys look together. For articulation, his head is on a ball joint, but it is very hindered by these pieces up here. He does have a ball joint up here, a swivel joint. He's actually got a ratchet joint here as well. The wrists are on a ball joint. No waist articulation, unfortunately. He does have a ball joint here, ratcheted knees, which can also rotate. They do sort of rotate. I mean, it's very stiff, but they do rotate. And the feet are on a stupid ratchet joint. But that is really all I can say about Jazz's robot mode, so let's get him transformed back into his vehicle mode. It's a lot more complicated than getting him into robot mode, but it's nothing too major. Anyway, first thing we're going to do is going to come up here, rotate the arms up, and just sort of try and peg them in. It's kind of a pain to do. Peg them in like that, rotate the forearm around and peg it in there, like so. Put the fist inwards, same on the other side. Rotate this piece into there. It's definitely a pain to get in. There we go. Rotate this piece around, peg it in, flip the fist around like so, then unpeg this back section, fold it out, unpeg this section like that. Then we are going to, I've obviously done something wrong here, yeah, like that. Then we can come up to the legs, peg them together, and flip these bits down. They really don't peg together very well. It isn't a very solid connection there, but yeah, there we go. Flip the leg section up, and they come unpegged again. It's really kind of annoying, to be honest. It's just a pain. Anyway, flip this section in, just fold it all inwards like that. Peg it in. Now make sure that you can see the white bits on his feet there. Make sure they're actually up, touching like where the spoiler is. And there is Jazz back in his amazing looking vehicle mode. Now just really quickly, like I said earlier, that plonks on there. And there is Jazz. Now overall, I really do like this figure. It's not awful. It's not my favourite out of the Fall of Cybertron figures that I've gotten so far, but it's not, you know, awful. My main problem with it is the robot mode. The robot mode isn't that good, but the vehicle mode alone is enough to make you want to like it. It's definitely very cool. I really do like this vehicle mode, one of my favourites. But that's about it. The robot mode sucks, really. Anyway, thank you for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys next time.